Just fucking do it. Subscribe now.
It was like looking at your maintenance side against the lawn side, you know?
It's okay, right?
Yeah.
I immediately thought. But those guys were, I think, Costa Ricans. Or something.
Yes.
But,
They're not normally too smart.
no, well,
Just 10 years, we're assuming.
is there really little Cuba in southern Florida?
I mean, especially down south of Miami.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I read something that 70% Spanish speaking.
In Miami?
Yeah.
Not divine
Yeah.
times.
I mean, national corporations have Spanish names added to, like CVS will have, pharmacies will have a Spanish name added to their stores in Miami. The store clerks talk to you in Spanish in Miami. If you don't speak Spanish, it's harder to get by in Miami.
Sally and I went to a CVS in Miami to get, I don't know what the fuck we got. And we couldn't find a clerk that spoke English.
Yeah. McDonald's on their drive-through, if you go through McDonald's, they'll have a different menu than elsewhere, and they'll have some Spanish things included in their menu. So not too many places get chains like that to change their whole. I mean, I don't know anywhere else in the U.S. that they change their, except there. It's interesting.
It used to be places like Brooklyn in New York. If you didn't speak Italian, I mean, the second, third generation Italian guys and gals that never learned how to speak English.
New Jersey, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just it.
Yeah.
But they would try to talk to you, but I mean...
Yeah, over there's no need.
Yeah.
In Miami, there's no need.
No, I grew up in Jersey. They always thought I was Italian. They don't know what the fuck I am.
Well, you don't know what the fuck you are either, but anyway.
So Dan, we for example, the EBITDA, we take it, we multiply it by 5, and then we multiply it by 5.
Well, no. Our lending parameters are 3 to 5. They lock on 5. Maybe they think they can get you up to 5.5 or 6, okay? You lock on 3 knowing that you want to beat them down to 2 because you know that they've something to due diligence is going to come up that... Now, looking at our German friend makes me think there is not as much cheating. First of all, they would. I've never met a German that would cheat on taxes. Never. I'm sure they are, but at some end of the continuum, I haven't met them. But they also, the numbers they give you are pretty straight up. They don't. They normally have a hard rule. They have a number in their mind, and that's the number. Come hell or high water, war, feast, famine. That's the number. Okay. So you're saying 3 to 5 times EBITDA. Okay. And because the banks have told you that their comfort zone, or some banks say their sweet spot, they may even tell you our sweet spot is 4.5 times EBITDA.
Yeah, they say that.
Okay,
UBS is up to 7.
What?
UBS.
Okay, but but you still want to pay.
No.
You can pay up to 7 if you've got a big chunk of seller finance. And the cash flow. Sometimes, once in a while, 1 out of 10 deals, you'll find that even at 8 or 9 times, cash flow will be debt service. But don't just roll over just because that one. You still want to knock the price down, but you know you've got a lot of latitude. You've got a lot of latitude, meaning there's a lot of free cash flow. And Josh, who's buying stuff he's bought stuff at less than 2, but he's averaging about 3 times EBITDA. And you know, he's living like King Farouk. He's like living like a fucking royal prince in Doha. But he's not doing anything illegal. He's not doing anything wrong. It's his fucking money. It's 73% of it. And he decides to pay himself an additional bonus. You can pay yourself other bonuses, not just on deals, if you got the cash flow. I mean, and i.e., he's got his $1 million race car, and he's living large, as they say. And he just had his 22nd birthday. So you can pay bonuses, and you can fund. Remember, if you can't get a working capital loan, which you should be able to always, you can. I think with you that asked me, you can pay out of cash flow. regular cash flow, and you can. Our model doesn't focus on that. Our model focuses on, I want you to do deals and get the board. And the senior people used to getting paid every time you do a deal. It's like Pavlov's dog, you know. And then when they don't ring the bell for a while, then they get pissed off. Then you got a whole other problem. But in the beginning, you shouldn't have anybody. Once you do your first deal, you've got them locked in for 6 to 24 months because they will, and you pay them. Sure. Okay, not lunch at Starbucks, Jason, and you pay them some money. Then you got them locked. The guys from the German deal that I'm
now they're looking for deals.
Oh yeah. And then they're looking for deals. My German colleagues on the board of the GmbH, I mean, they're in hot. The second and third deal that we just signed, closed actually, was because of the board.
Yeah, I also got some names from the board already.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we keep running into that we're just going over before you got here is, especially with the brokers, where I told them I've looked at a lot of deals with a broker and they all seem to be this way. They're all adding back, when they give you their EBITDA, they're adding back the salary to the owner. Well, you're going to need somebody to run this business.
So normally, let's say the owner's paying himself $350, you're going to get away with $100, $150. So $100, $150 is a legitimate add back, or whatever the number is. But the entire salary, and they'll try to add back all the benefits because, as your brother told the other group, the American wage, you live off the business, and that is. But in most of the people, they'll make a crude attempt to clean up their shit, but they really won't clean up the shit. And but
it's expensive.
Yeah, it is. And when you see, some people see, when Sally and I were doing this, back in the 90s, Sally couldn't believe that some of the expenses, family expenses, because Sally and I we were really poor. $8,000 vacation, Sally, that can't be. I mean, or these kinds of numbers, or a wedding present, 10 grand, that can't be. And then we treat the bag, it was, but it's not an add back, but I mean, it's the expense. The biggest expense is most of the kids that you're going to find sellers, if they're old enough to have had kids in school, is education. Private schools cost up the yin. But that's not an add back either. Okay, that's fine. You did that, but it's coming off the EBITDA figure. We're not going back on the EBITDA figure, I should say. But that's normal. That's normal. It's just the level, the gravity of the sum that, and for people that understand the healthcare business like she does and a few others, they can see, right through this bullshit. It's impossible. You can't spend that much money, blah, 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 blah. And it's right now, and it seems like the market has gotten hotter since the new year. The numbers I see and the information I'm getting, they really believe that the Trump train is going to keep rolling. And that's terrific.
I have a lot more brokers coming back and saying, hey, I have this deal. They're sending me stuff that it doesn't even pertain. And I'm like, guys, we've already talked about what I'm looking for. However, they're coming back to me more now. They're still crap deals, but still.
Yeah.
At least it's not
but, and you look at them, and you just, no, it's not for me. This deal isn't for me. Mm-hmm. But the South African guy that moved to South Africa from here, Poland, and he asked me if Anelli was considering, I forget how it came up, healthcare. I said, no, fortunately for you, he's not. But Anelli doesn't like urine and blood and shit like that. And so he passed on healthcare. His conglomerator activities are everything but healthcare. He's a classic example that within 7 or 10 days, he was able to put his team together. A blonde white guy from Poland, I believe he's from, to go to South Africa. And on his first report to me, he says, boy, Mr. Peña, how did you know it was this fucked up? And I said, well, one, I got a Nelly there, but two, I just know South Africa's going to be fucked up for, I don't know about forever, but, and it all changed, but they set up a second and tertiary banking system. And one of the things, those banks don't have enough, they have more money than they have product. So those South African banks are making loans in other parts of the world. They don't have enough product because, again, the uneducated black people can't package the shit together. In fact, we had a guy 5 or 6 years ago that went down there just to show black guys, blue collar workers, how to package the shit. And he got a huge offer from one of the big corporates, to join them, and so he's not doing that anymore. But you can stay South Florida. I asked your brother, what would it take to grow your business 10 times, 100 times? And he said, not in Florida. He didn't think in Florida. And I said, what about the southeastern United States? Because not just because the margins are good, and I understand why you're getting rid of the lawn cutting shit because it's so intensive. We talked about that a year ago. You're staying.
That's the easy side to grow, though.
Huh?
The acquisition-wise, that's the easy side to grow.
Oh yeah.
It's just very difficult to operate. Not difficult. It's simple. It's just the people and
And as I walked out the room, I said, "By the way, did you fire your mom?" No. I said, she's my mom. I said, okay. The other people who were wondering, how come I knew you didn't fire her? Well, I mean, it's a no-brainer, right?